Hello everybody, I am the programmer of Python, and this is the second video tutorial on using Pygame to create a game. So, this is where we left off in the last video, with just this basic Windows setup and everything. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to import the player image, the coin image, and the enemy image. I'm also going to be showing the background image near the end of the video, because that's the least of our importance, and I didn't really use that when I displayed the first like in the first video when I showed the gameplay. I didn't use a background image, but if you guys want to use one, I'll show you guys how to do that. But either way, I'm just going to be importing the player, the coin, and the enemy image, and I'm also going to be adding movement and a border for the player to move in. So first, I'm going to say player info, and I'm going to say player img. I'm going to do pygame.image.load. And obviously, I don't have anything yet to import, so I'm gonna quickly go over here, and I have flat icon. I use Google as a search engine. Go to flaticon.com, and I just typed in square to find the player image that I needed. It should be somewhere around. I keep on scrolling down, and I use this image. Obviously, it's right now it's at 512 pixels. Make sure you set it to 64 pixels, so it'll be 64 wide and 64 tall. So I choose 64, and I click free download. And now I'm gonna wait for this to finish downloading. Okay, so now I'm going to drag this into PyCharm, and we'll put it right over the name Pygame Tutorial, and it'll ask if I want to put it here, and I say OK. Now it's here, and now I can actually import the image by saying square. So now the image is like that's what the image will be called now. The image will be called the player image. It's now I'm just going to say player x is equal to about, I don't know, I'm just going to say 64 in case something loads weird. Player y is equal to 64 as well. Then we're going to have player x change, and I'm going to set it to 0 for now. And then player y change is also equal to 0. So that's what we're going to have for that player right now. And then also we're going to add something. I'm just going to make this area the define area. Oops, did not mean to do that. So I'm going to call this define the objects. And I'm going to say def, which means define. I'm going to say player. And now I'm going to put x comma y. If you need a little explanation, that's just saying like the location of the player x and the location y, and it's just going to be using these values. Well, not these values, but these values right here. So then I'll say define player, and then I'll say screen.split, and I'll say player image comma x comma y. So it's saying the location once again. And now lower down here, about right here, I'm gonna say this is just to help me. You guys don't have to actually have to write this little part. Well, actually attaches the image to the player coordinates. Let me fix that. Okay. So now I can say player, and then I'm gonna say player x comma player y. And now this should work, and it should technically load in the player. And there we go. We have the player right here. So a little explanation for this is that basically up here when we define it, we're changing the name from player img. So basically it's gathering all this information right here. So like all this information, and it's turning all that into the word player. So instead of constantly saying player image plus player x plus player y and all that other stuff, it's just calling it player now. And when it says screen.split, that's just like loading it into the screen. So basically that's there now. And okay, so that's the player done. Now I'm gonna say red square just because I'll make that the enemy. And this is the one I used, so I'll use it again. 64 pixels, free download. And I'm gonna wait for it to download. Okay, and it's done. So I'm gonna drag it into PyCharm. I'm gonna put it over the name Pygame tutorial, and I'm gonna click OK. So now we have that there, and I'm just going to, actually I don't have to copy and paste, I'll make it like this. So now I'll say enemy info, and I'll say enemy image equals pygame dot image dot load, and then I can say remove, I mean that's just the name, if I didn't really change the name, and then I'll say enemy x is equal to, let's just say 450, and then enemy y is equal to 450, and now I'm gonna have enemy exchange, and this is gonna be set to 0, and I'm just gonna change this value right here to y. So there we go, we have that, and basically I'm just going to do the same thing with that part. So instead of saying define player, I'm gonna say define enemy, well def enemy, and then I'm gonna say enemy img. So then that's there, and once again I'll just copy and paste this. And some of you guys right now are probably starting to realize, oh my gosh, coding, a majority of coding is just copy and pasting, and well, you're right. So I have that, and then enemy x. So there we go. Now the enemy should be in there. We'll click run, and oops, I did something wrong. We need to figure that out. Some of you guys who pause this video are probably screaming at me what I just did wrong. Oh, there we go. Enemy, there we go. Small mistakes like that slip by me sometimes. Okay, there we go. We have the enemy image. And now, least but not last, well, for now I guess, the coin. Okay, and this is, I'm pretty sure this is the one I used. I'll do 64 pixels, so this will be the same size as the square, as like the enemies on player. Okay, I'm gonna drag this into PyCharm, right over the name once again. I'm gonna leave it as the word dollar and click OK. So now it's there, and I'm going to say coin info, and I'm gonna say coin img equals pygame dot image dot load, and I can just say whatever it's called, which is dollar. Okay, now I can say coin x is equal to about 200, and then coin y is equal to about 200 as well. And it shouldn't be moving, so there's not any other two things like this or like this. So now I'm going to define the coin. I'm going to say def coin, and I'm going to split the screen to, you know, display the coin. And I'm going to change all these to say coin. And I'll remember this time to change this word too. So I'm going to run that, and then there we go. All three of those images are imported. So I'll save the background image for later because I didn't really use that in the game. But I will explain it later in the video. So now we're going to go into player movement. Okay, so now for player movement, about under here, I can just do this, and then I can say what event I want, because it'll be under this bar right here. So for event in pygame.event.get, so it's saying what kind of event it is, and this line says this is the quit, but we don't want that, because if we accidentally, well, not accidentally, but if we go here, then it's only that event happening. But we don't want that. We want it to be a new event happening. So say if event.type is equals pygame dot keydown, we'll say if event dot key, so like what kind of key is being pressed. So we'll say pygame dot k, and k means like what kind of key it is. We'll do underscore, then we can say left, and they always have to be capital, by the way. And now we can say how to actually make the player movement. So I can say that it will make, at player exchange is equal to, let's say, 0.5. This is just testing. So now we actually have to make the player move, because obviously if we run this and we do it, nothing's happening when I press left. So because it's not understanding like what this actually means. So about here, I'm going to do the objects to move, and I'm gonna say that player X is plus equal, so it's like adding the already equal value. So whatever the X is, let's say it's 3, and then it's adding whatever the player change would be. So in this case it's 0.5. I'll just say 0.5 so it'll be a little bit more clear. So it's just adding 0.5 every iteration. So basically it gives it the illusion that something's actually moving. And we'll say player exchange. And now it should work. I probably messed this up. Yeah, I already know I messed this up. I need to change that. Oh wait, nope. I think I might leave it. Yeah, I messed it up. Okay, so I'll say subtract, and I might speed this up. I'll say like 75. And there we go. Obviously I can't go back or anything. And okay, I'm gonna click the left, I'm gonna let go. Okay, and you can see it's still going because it automatically sets us to that now. So we'll fix that in a second, but basically this is just the simple part right here. So I'm just gonna copy this, and we will fix this later, don't worry. Oh wait, I don't have to say this again, sorry. Okay, because like I already have a key down event right here, so I don't have to keep on repeating that. And I can say right instead, and I can just have it right there. And then I'll constantly just copy and paste this. Now I'll say up, and then this time I can say Y. And since, like I said, I'm pretty sure I said this in the last video, but just in case I haven't, really quick, right here where my mouse is, this is 0, 0. 0, 0 is not in the center of the screen. So actually, all the way right here, this is 600, and all the way right here is 800. So basically, when I go all the way here, this coordinate right now is 0, 800. When I go all the way right here, it's 800, 600. Sorry. So yeah, coordinates are a little bit different in Pygame. Well, Python, Pygame. And now I will do this again, and I'll just have like that. And I will say down. And obviously this won't work yet because I haven't done it for the vertical axis. I've only, oh wait, no. Yeah, I haven't done it for the vertical axis. There we go. And now it should all work. See, there we go. Obviously we can't collect anything. But obviously you'll still be moving though. And actually, I'm starting to run out of time for this video. But I will, and when I say like very shortly, I mean like within the next hour, I'll be posting a second video on what to do about this. So for now, that's really it. So see you guys later. Bye!